Ladies and gentlemen, viewers around the world, today we confront one of the most pressing and dangerous questions of our time. Is Iran actually going to launch a nuclear attack on the United States? This question has dominated headlines, ignited fears of global war, and fueled intense debates across geopolitical forums, television networks, and social media platforms. The words nuclear attack alone are enough to send shockwaves through societies. But before we allow fear to take control, before panic spreads faster than facts, we must pause and examine reality carefully, logically, and responsibly. Because in moments like these, truth matters more than emotion. To understand today's tension, we must step back in history. The hostility between the United States and Iran did not appear overnight. It dates back decades, particularly to 1979 and the Islamic Revolution, when the U.S. Embassy in Tehran was seized and American diplomats were taken hostage. That event reshaped relations permanently. Since then, suspicion, sanctions, military posturing, and proxy conflicts have defined their relationship. Over the years, disputes over Iran's nuclear program, U.S. sanctions, regional influence in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and support for groups such as Hezbollah have deepened mistrust. Diplomatic efforts, including the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, attempted to cool tensions, but the collapse of that agreement and subsequent breakdown in negotiations reopened wounds that never fully healed. The relationship has been volatile, confrontational, and fragile. But tension alone does not equal a nuclear war plan. Now we turn to the present. The conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran has intensified into open military confrontation. Airstrikes have targeted Iranian military and missile infrastructure. Iran has responded with missile attacks on U.S. bases across the Middle East and against Israeli-linked interests. Casualties have occurred. The world watches anxiously. Yet, it is absolutely critical to separate two different realities: conventional warfare and nuclear warfare. Missiles, airstrikes, and military retaliation, while extremely serious, are not the same as preparing to deploy nuclear weapons. Here is the key fact. There is no verified evidence that Iran has decided to launch a nuclear attack on the United States. U.S. defense officials have publicly stated that intelligence does not indicate an imminent Iranian nuclear strike on U.S. soil. International nuclear watchdogs, including the International Atomic Energy Agency, have not confirmed the existence of an operational Iranian nuclear weapons arsenal ready for deployment. While Iran has enriched uranium, and enrichment can raise legitimate concerns, enriched material alone is not a bomb. Transforming enriched uranium into a functional, deliverable nuclear weapon requires advanced engineering, weaponization processes, miniaturization, testing, and a reliable long-range delivery system. These are enormous technical hurdles. Possessing material is not the same as possessing a ready-to-launch nuclear arsenal. Even hypothetically, if Iran were to develop a nuclear weapon in the future, another question emerges. Could it realistically deliver it to the U.S. mainland? Launching a nuclear strike across oceans requires intercontinental ballistic missiles with proven range, precision, and reliability, or submarine-based platforms capable of stealth deployment. Publicly available intelligence assessments suggest Iran's missile capabilities, while regionally significant, do not currently demonstrate reliable intercontinental reach capable of striking the continental United States. This creates a major strategic barrier. Capability matters. Intent matters, and verified evidence matters. Strategically speaking, the calculus is equally important. Iran's leadership understands that a nuclear attack on the United States would guarantee overwhelming retaliation. The United States maintains one of the most powerful nuclear arsenals and military forces on Earth. Any nuclear strike would not remain unanswered. It would trigger catastrophic consequences for Iran itself. From a cost-benefit perspective, such a move would be self-destructive. Nations, even adversarial ones, generally act within frameworks of deterrence. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction remains a powerful restraint against nuclear escalation. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels, though strained, have not completely disappeared. Back-channel discussions, international mediation efforts, and pressure from global powers continue. Russia, China, European nations, and others have urged de-escalation. Even amid military exchanges, diplomacy often works quietly in the background. History shows that adversaries frequently negotiate even during active conflict. However, this does not mean the situation is safe or insignificant. The risk lies not in an immediate nuclear launch, but in miscalculation. Escalation cycles can spiral. A conventional strike leads to retaliation. Retaliation leads to broader engagement. Regional conflict can expand. Proxy groups become involved. Alliances activate. Wars rarely unfold exactly as leaders predict. That unpredictability is the real danger. The longer tensions persist, the higher the risk of unintended consequences. Experts broadly agree on several key points. There is no confirmed intelligence of an imminent Iranian nuclear strike on the United States. There is no verified evidence of operational, deployable Iranian nuclear warheads. The current military engagement remains conventional in nature. Nuclear war remains a worst-case scenario, not an active plan. And importantly, nuclear weapons are political tools of deterrence more often than instruments of first use. So what determines Iran's next move? Diplomacy, international pressure, domestic political stability, strategic calculation. Iran must weigh retaliation against survival. The United States must weigh deterrence against escalation. Regional actors must weigh alliance commitments against the risk of broader war. Every decision is interconnected. The truth, stripped of the sensationalism, is this: Iran is not currently preparing a nuclear attack on the United States. There is no verified intelligence confirming such a plan. The conflict we see today, while deeply serious, remains rooted in conventional military exchanges. Nuclear war is a hypothetical possibility in any high-tension environment, but it is not an imminent, confirmed action. As citizens of a connected world, our responsibility is to remain informed without surrendering to fear. Headlines are designed to capture attention. Social media amplifies alarm, but responsible analysis requires evidence. It requires patience. It requires critical thinking. Do not confuse rhetoric with reality. Do not confuse capability speculation with confirmed deployment. And do not allow fear to outrun facts. The world stands at a tense crossroads. Yes, escalation remains possible. Diplomacy remains fragile. But as of this moment, a nuclear strike by Iran on the United States is not supported by credible intelligence. That is the grounded reality. In times of crisis, knowledge is stability, calm analysis is strength, and truth, verified, sober, and rational, is our most powerful defense against chaos. Stay informed, stay critical, and never let fear speak louder than facts.